You'd like to give self-striping sock yarn a try, but you're not quite sure where to start because there are so many options available. Which one is the best? Well, I'm going to share some affordable options as well as some of my favorite Canadian hand dyers, and I'll share some recommendations from other viewers like you. Hey Nerdy Knitter, Tanya here. I'm a certified knitting instructor and a master hand knitter, and the goal here at Nerdy Knitting is to help you become a more confident, adventurous knitter. And in this video, we're going to look at self-striping and self-patterning sock yarn choices. Now, self-striping is probably pretty self-explanatory. The yarn has built-in stripes at set rates. So instead of having to work the stripes yourself with a bunch of different yarns, it's all done on one skein, so you don't have to change colors. And self-patterning is very similar. It will have stripes, but it might also have some little patterns in there as well. So I've grouped them together. Now I want to look at affordable options. We're talking about $12 US a skein. So you can probably knit a pair of socks with one 100-gram skein. So I'm keeping it around that price point to be in this affordable option. Now there are a lot of other choices as well when you get into the hand-dyed yarns, and those are absolutely lovely and definitely worth checking out because they have so many fabulous color choices. But I know when you're just getting started, you want to try something a little less expensive. So I'm going to focus on those, but I am going to share a few hand dyers as well. Most of them are Canadian since I'm in Canada. But if you're in the US, the exchange rate probably makes it a very good deal for you to purchase from a Canadian hand dyer. And I also have recommendations from viewers like you as well. When I asked about your favorite self-striping yarn companies, then you shared some fabulous ones with me. So we're going to look at all of those today. I think we have about 12 to look at. So let's start with affordable options. We're talking about $10 to $12 US for 100 grams, which will be about 400 yards more or less, which is enough for knitting a pair of socks. Depending on the length of your foot and the length you'd like the leg of the sock, you might need more or less, but you can generally get a pair of socks out of one skein. Let's start with a brand that you can probably find at a local craft store, Patons Kroy Sock Yarns. Now, this sock yarn, you can also buy it online at Lovecrafts. I'll have a link for that, but it is a blend of 75% washable wool, 25% nylon, and I've used this one, and it's a good hard wearing sock. Now, the ball size does come in just 50 grams, which is about 166 yards, so you're going to need a couple skeins for your socks. But it does have, solid colors as well, but it also has some really fun self-striping yarns too. I really like this gray, and it has a bit of a pattern in there. I think they have self-patterning as well. Yeah, we can see right there, they've got some patterns in those stripes. Lots of different color choices. So of course it will vary from store to store. You'll find different selections at different stores. There's a nice sock yarn. Here's another self-patterning one. So you can see Patons Kroy Sock Yarn has a great selection of self-striping and self-patterning yarns, and you can probably find them at your local craft store. Then I have a couple of options from Knit Picks, which is a great place to get started when you're buying yarn online because it's affordable, but they also start giving you some options for those hand-dyed yarns and tonals and even self-striping yarns like their Felici sock yarn. You can see it right here. It's 50-gram skeins as well. Usually $7 a skein right now. So it's a little bit higher at $14 for a pair of socks, but it's on sale right now for a great price at half that price. So it is 218 yards in a 50-gram skein. Now, if you have smaller feet, you could probably squeeze a pair of shorties out of this kind of yarn. Lots of color choices here, and they always bring out new colors and retire colors, so you'll never know what you'll find here. Fruit punch, lots of pinks and reds. Lakeside gelato. Oh, that does look like ice cream flavors, doesn't it? Arcade afternoon, I like the name of that one. Oh, that's really fun. So lots of choices here. You'll want to check this one out. But they also have a new self-striping yarn, and it's new this year, I think even this month, I'm not quite sure, at least this year. They're static sock yarn. Now this one is a 100-gram skein. This color I have here is called John Boy. So they're all references to old classic TV shows, which I think is lots of fun. So if you ever watch The Waltons, then here's a colorway that's based on one of the characters from that show. So this one is 437 yards in 100 grams, and it is 75% superwash wool and 25% nylon. And it looks like it's going to knit up into a nice self-striping color. So let's take a look at some of the other options for the colors. Now this one's also at a slightly higher price point at $14, but you can see it's got a few different colors here, and I think they're going to be introducing more colorways. Okay, it says here Static is a limited edition yarn. Once these colors sell out, they're gone forever, but Static will return in all new colorways. So if there's a color you really like, then you're going to want to take a look at it here. WJM. Oh, this one looks really cute. So this one is more of that self-patterning in there as well, with these wide and narrow stripes and these little bits of variegation in there. We've got one here called Squiggy. Again, with the wide and narrow stripes, and it looks like a bit of self-patterning in this part. One called All Aboard. I love those blues. I really like blue. So again, with these wide and narrow stripes and then really short sections of stripes, mini stripes. Okay, John Boy's the one I showed you. Let's take a look at what that will look like knit up. So those wide and narrow stripes and bits of color in there as well. This is a really fun choice for a self-striping yarn. So another affordable option from Knit Picks. Now next is West Yorkshire Signature 4-ply, which I've never used before, but when I get to a yarn store that carries it, I'm definitely going to try it because it's so highly recommended by so many different knitters. When I've asked before for other videos, this is one that always pops up for affordable yarns, for just really good hard-wearing sock yarns, and again, for self-striping and self-patterning yarns. We had a couple comments left for this yarn. So I've never used it, but it comes highly recommended from other knitters, so it's definitely worth checking out, and it's also very affordable. Now we're here on their website, but you can also find this at Lovecrafts. So I'll put a link for that. And here is like some of their Christmas colorways. So this is a blend of 75% wool, 25% nylon, comes in 100 gram skein and 437 yards. So this is the gingerbread colorway, and you can see this one is a self-patterning. We've got the brown stripes, and then we've got sort of this candy cane texture or color going on in between with the reds and the greens and the creams. And then Robin. Oh, that's a really nice one. I like Christmas birds and things. That's what that reminds me of. And here's some true Christmas colors. Candy cane. So there's your self-striping in those pretty Christmas colors. And of course, they have others as well. This is just their the Christmas colorways that they have. But you can look at other ones. I'll link to Lovecraft, so you can check those out as well and see what they have for other self-patterning stripe and self-striping yarns. Now another great affordable choice is Cascade yarns. Now their yarn lines, there's lots of different variation there, but they have a lot of great affordable options, and they have a great sock yarn as well, Cascade Heritage, and they've got their Heritage prints, which are self-patterning yarns. They also have other Heritage yarns as well that you can check out. So this Heritage yarn is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 437 yards, and 100 gram skein. So definitely enough for a pair of socks. If we scroll down here, we can see some of these fun self-striping colors. I really like this one, the candy hearts. Oops, right there. Those bright, fun colors would be fun for a teenage girl maybe who likes bright colors. Well, I still like bright colors, what can I say? So those are more self-striping, wide and narrow stripes. And here we've got some self-patterning. So this is another great option to check out. And they are available on Lovecrafts too. So I'll have a link to there. So I mean, if there's a few you want to try, Lovecrafts is a great place to shop because you can buy all the different brands in one place. Barocco is also another company that has some great affordable yarn options, and they have Barocco Comfort Sock, which comes in solid colors, but also in other self-striping and self-patterning as well. So this one is 100 gram skein, 447 yards, and it's a blend of acrylic and nylon. So if you are avoiding wool for any reason, then this might be something to check out. And you can see they've got solid colors. They've got lots of different self-striping yarns here as well. Let's see if we can get a closer look. You can see some of the stripes and the self-patterning in there. So this is the English Garden colorway. Fjordland, those are some pretty blues. And Taupo. So lots of choices here for self-striping and self-patterning from Barocco. Now the last one for our affordable options is one from Lovecrafts itself. They're store brand Paintbox yarns, and they've got a sock yarn that is 75% wool, 25% polyamide, So 3.5 ounces, I think, which is 100-gram skein. Now they have solid colors as well, but you can see here they've got some self-striping yarns. Oh, that's really fun. I like the colors in this one. So that one is rainbow. This one's called Moody Sky, Dreams. So you'll find different ones here as well, and they've got like different turnover. I don't know how often they switch colors, but they've got some fun ones here. Candy. And they're usually, it looks like $10 a skein. So very affordable, fits right in our affordable budget. So those take care of our affordable options. If you're just dipping your toe in and want to just spend a little bit of money, then those are your choices for more affordable self-patterning and self-striping yarns. But if you're ready to splurge, I have 2 recommendations for yarns that I've actually used myself that I really like. And one of them, other knitters also left some comments that they really like them as well. They're both Canadian hand dyers. And they both have just fabulous colorways. So the first one is Scrumptious Purl. And she's just got some fabulous colors, and they come in these cute little balls. And she also has different base options. If we look down here, the basic Stripe Me Up base is 400 yards at 100 grams, and it's 80% superwash merino wool, 20% nylon. Then her Glam base also has some sparkling stellina in it, so it's a bit of a sparkle in your sock yarn, another 100-gram skein. You can also just get it in the toes and heels if you want like a mini skein set, 33 grams at 133 yards. And this one uses the Stripe Me Up base. So we've got a few choices here, and that is her fabulous color. And you can see it's got that light pink and this dark pink and this gray, all in this ball, ready to knit right up. Let's take a look at some of her other colors. This pretty sea glass color. Oh, I like that one right there. That's really soft and lovely. She doesn't have any pictures of them all knit up, but you could probably go to Ravelry and see some projects there. She's got lots of these bright and bold color combinations. So Scrumptious Purl is definitely worth checking out with those really fun and fabulous colorways. Now, my other recommendation for your splurge-worthy choice is Turtlepurl yarns, and other viewers also recommend her. I've used her yarn and it's absolutely fabulous, and her colorways are really great. And I believe she started on Etsy, but now she has her own shop with lots of other yarn as well. But we're going to look just at her self-striping yarn, and I really love her colors as well. She's got this trench coat color here, which is like that Burberry coat, that brown and tan. And then she also has sets where you can get a contrasting color for your toes and heels. And I believe, I'm not sure if all of her yarns come this way, but they come in 2 hanks, 1 for each sock. So they should be perfectly identical when you knit with them. Okay, so let's see what is in the base here. It's a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 450 yards in 100 grams. And she does say it here, it's split into 2 50-gram skeins, so you can get exactly matching socks. And you can see it all knit up there too in the fun colors. She has some great colors here. And yes, right beside it we have the trench coat, but this one is with the heel and toe contrasting color. Here's another great one, the All Sorts. Oh, and this is a DK weight sock yarn, so this is something new for her. And you can see here it also has that contrasting mini skeins. So with a lot of these, it looks like you can have your choice of 2 50-gram skeins for matching socks, or the 50-gram skeins plus another skein for the toes and heels as well. I'm curious to see what size that smaller skein is. So let's take a look at this one, Birds of a Feather. Really fun colors, and you can see it right here. It comes with the 2 50-gram skeins, and then that skein of the heel and toe. Okay, so that's 25-gram skein along with your 2 50-gram skeins. So plenty of yarn for your socks. Here's some other great colors. Comic strip is the one that I tried, and oh, it was so much fun. Those beautiful, I just love a good bold color, and this is definitely a nice bold color. Now these last few selections are from comments that viewers left when I asked about your favorite self-striping yarns. The first one is from Lori. She mentions 2 different yarn companies that are both in Canada, so I was so happy to see more Canadian yarn dyers I hadn't heard of. The first is the Wool Baron, and if we look at their self-striping yarns, you can see them knit up. I really like how she has them in this little wire shopping basket. It's very cute. And very fun color combinations. Oh, there's a fun Halloween color. And it looks like she has different yarn bases as well, a DK base and a sock base. So her sturdy sock base is a 75-25 superwash merino and nylon, 100 gram skein with 463 yards of yarn. She also has casual sock, which is an 80-20 superwash merino and nylon. This one has 400 yards and 100 grams. And then she also has soft sock and high twist, sterling sock, so that one has the stellina in it, DK, and then a cashmere. So lots of different choices for yarn bases. So definitely worth checking out just for all of these different yarn bases. Oh goodness, she's got some that are not technically for socks. A kid mohair and a silk, a Surrey alpaca and a silk. Really great choices for yarns here. And you can see the sock, the colors. Very fun Halloween-y type color. That one looks really nice. If you like neons and bold colors, then that beat the heat. Oh yeah, everybody likes it. I guess it's sold out. So I'm just going to scroll down and we can take a look at some of these fun colors. Definitely worth checking out for all of these different yarn bases she has. So if you have like a favorite yarn base, then see if she's got it here and in these self-striping yarns. Oh, I really like Vixen too. That's a nice one. That was a great recommendation from Lori, and her other recommendation was Comfy Cozy Knits, another Canadian yarn dyer. You can see her colors here. Ooh, another bright, bold neon in that wheel of color. And this one's more of a self-patterning, like a variegated and blue stripes. Okay, let's take a look. So she's got, it's an 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, approximately 420 yards and 115 grams, so slightly larger skein. You can see how it knits up right there. Now she also has 50 gram mini skein, so if you wanted to do something with mini skeins, then she's got some self-striping choices here. Oh, I like that one too, mountainous, with the grays and the blues and the greens. Let's scroll through and look at hers. Oh, coconuts is really pretty with the brown and the teal. Lots of fun colors here at Comfy Cozy Knits. Our last recommendation comes from another comment, Zebra Yarns on Etsy. And Etsy's a great place to look for lots of hand dyers. You can type in, I don't know, self-striping yarns or whatever it is you're looking for, and then see what pops up. So this is Zebra Yarns. So hers comes with your full skein and then your contrasting color mini skein. Lots of fun colors here. Oh, she's got some solids as well. Let's look at this one, Heather's Rose. Okay, so it looks like yarn options. Okay, so you can get a 50 gram skein or a 100 gram skein. 437 yards. Okay, so her base is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 100 grams, 437 yards. Let's look at some of our other colors here. She's got lots of fun colors too. Oh, Savvy Southern, I really like that one. The pink and the blue. Now this is neat. She'll even crank your yarn into a 64 stitch tube. If you want the self-striping sock without having to do all of the knitting, then you can have the tube and then you just have to add your toes and heels. That's a really great idea. So great recommendations from everybody. Thank you so much for sharing. If you have a recommendation for your favorite self-striping yarn from a hand dyer or even a big box company, then be sure to leave it down below. We're always looking for more great recommendations for sock yarns. And if we have enough new recommendations, maybe we can just make another video sharing more of your top picks. But there's also a lot more we could talk about when it comes to knitting socks, and we have done a lot of just sit and knit and chat episodes where we've talked about proper sock fit and sock care and so many other things. So I've put together a playlist with some of those videos. They're a bit on the longer side, so you can settle in with your knitting, click right there, and I'll see you in the next video.